One of the most cost-effective ways for North American drivers to go racing is for sure the Formula 5 category within the Super Copa series down in Mexico. Today we're going to have a look at the series, which provides a lot of track time, some really fun cars to drive, and grids with 20 plus drivers out on the track. What makes the Formula 5 series down in Mexico particularly interesting is that you're part of the Super Copa Championship, Mexico's V8 series, 8 rounds of racing across the season. You get to drive some of Mexico's best tracks, one of them AHR, right? Everybody knows that track from the Formula 1 racing. You get to go to Puebla, which hosted the Formula E series. You get to race in Querétaro, Monterrey, and some other really fun and cool tracks. The best part about this series are definitely the cars. You're looking at a single-seater tubular frame chassis, 110 horsepower, 4-cylinder engines, and just so much fun to drive. The cars are very light, so the power-to-weight ratio is really good, and the entire series is set up for drivers to gain experience. It's set up as an affordable series, an affordable way to go racing for young drivers coming out of go-kart, making that transition from go-karts to Formula 4, and drivers like myself, right, that are new to racing cars, that are looking to get more track time, some race experience, and line up in an affordable way. The entire series runs on conventional tires, so you're able to run these tires, multiple races throughout the year. They don't provide a lot of grip. It's a rear-wheel drive car, so there's a lot of oversteer. In general, the car is moving around a lot, and you can see it in some of these clips. The car can be a handful at times, and it just makes for a ton of fun racing and just so much fun learning how to pass people, how to set people up, race strategy, and just overall just to be out on the track battling with other drivers. What all of us want as drivers is track time, and this is where this championship offers a lot. You run these weekends on Saturday, Sundays, 2 days. Saturday consisting of usually 2 sessions, a free practice of 30 minutes, and then a qualifying of 30 minutes. Sometimes you have a second free practice depending on the track and the schedule. And then on Sunday, you start the day with a warm-up in the morning, and then so that midday you do your 30-minute race, which gives you a ton of track time across the weekend. As I mentioned in the beginning, you're looking at 8 rounds for a season, starting in April, ending in December. So you're looking at about a race a month. Some really cool cities, some really fun tracks around there. Some of these tighter tracks that don't work so well in bigger cars and the V8s work really well in these little Formula cars. And then another really cool benefit is that the racing is televised on Fox Sports across Latin America. So if you do have some sponsors, that's a really nice selling point. It brings some prestige, and you're not just doing some backyard kind of racing out there. So now let's take a look at the financials of the series. As you can see in the title, Formula Racing for under $20,000. That's where this becomes really interesting. So before we get into that, obviously there's different setups. There's different teams, there's different programs. You can buy one of these cars, run it yourself, buy a car and have a team run it for you. Or you do what I do, which is a arrive and drive setup, where I just fly in with my equipment. The team provides the car, mechanics, all the infrastructure, so I don't have to worry about a thing. I just show up Saturday morning, ready to drive and get in the car. That sort of setup costs you about $1,700 a weekend, so $1,700. That includes the car rental, consumables, like I said, the crew, and you go racing. Add on top of that about a $200 entry fee, depending on the exchange rate. So you're looking all in about $1,900. We'll round that up a little bit. Let's say it costs you $2,000 per race. 8 races in the championship. So for $16,000, you get to race on some really cool tracks in a televised series against 20 plus other drivers. You get to race in front of some of Mexico's top teams in the V8 series. So if you're looking at not just a fun setup to where you want to race and have some fun, but maybe you want to be a little bit more serious and meet some of these teams to look at future opportunities, I don't think there's another championship that can provide that much value from a perspective of having fun, going racing, learning how to properly race, and then just have an amazing time networking with some of the biggest teams in Latin America. One thing that is not included in the price is crash damage, and that's obviously something you want to consider, especially when you go racing, especially if you don't have that much experience. Mistakes happen, and this is where the series is nice because the cars are not too expensive to begin with. So if you do make some contact or hit the wall, you pay a little bit extra. The team will fix the car, as you're about to see here in this clip. I'm about to make some contact here. Didn't have any effect on the car. We'll bump into each other a little bit, run off track, and just keep going. So, compared to like a Formula 4 car or something, these cars are a lot more sturdy. So unless you really bin it, crash damage is not too much of a concern. So this is it, $16,000 of racing budget. We'll give you 8 rounds of racing. We'll give you some room in case you have a crash, in case you have to make some repairs, to stay well within $20,000 to go racing. That's obviously just the racing part. You still have to get yourself to the track. So depending on where you come from, you might want to fly in, you need a rental car, hotels, but overall, to travel to Mexico and to travel within Mexico is not that expensive, depending on where you want to stay. So a great way to get on track, do some really fun racing. You get to race against some guys that are about to go into Formula 4. You get to race against some guys that have been doing it for a long time. So if you're looking to take your driving to the next level, this is definitely a great series for that. A great way to see Mexico and meet some really cool people. So yeah, if you're looking to take your racing to the next level and go race a fun championship without breaking the bank, Super Copa Formula 5 is where it's at.